Yeah, man!
Hello, my name is Miguel, and today I'm gonna make for you eggplant tomato stew. Visit JamaicanDinners.com for the recipe. Alright, you're gonna need an eggplant, medium size or so, a stalk of scallion, which is optional, quarter piece cut sweet pepper, 3 between 4 garlic cloves, medium sized onion, 6 plummy tomatoes, salt, a teaspoon of salt, cooking oil, a tablespoon of wine vinegar, half cup of water, a tablespoon of parsley, a tablespoon of basil, a teaspoon of marjoram, half teaspoon oregano, teaspoon of rosemary grounded fine, quarter teaspoon of pimento berries, dried pimento berries, 2 whole cloves. Visit JamaicanDinners.com for the recipe. I'm gonna gather my ingredients starting with the rosemary. So you want the rosemary to be grinded fine. So measure and I'm putting all my ingredients on this plate. So measure a teaspoon or half a teaspoon of grinded rosemary. Now add a tablespoon of parsley. Remember now, you can use any of these herbs fresh. Just chop it fine. Tablespoon parsley, tablespoon basil, sweet basil, oregano, half teaspoon oregano, marjoram, about a teaspoon of marjoram, or half teaspoon, you can use half teaspoon, between half teaspoon and a teaspoon. Gather herbs together. Keep herbs together and keep the spices together. The dried spices and the dried herbs, keep them together separate. So place 2 whole cloves on the plate that we are gathering our ingredients. As well, measure and add quarter teaspoon of dried pimento berries. Now measure 1 teaspoon sea salt. And what I like to do with the onion is cut it in half, that way it's easier to handle. Peel onion, remove the brown leaf. Only remove the first layer of the onion if it's spoiling. If not, the first layer of the onion is the strongest, so save it if you can. Without delay, peel garlic, cut off ends, trim spoilage. Remove dying leaves from the scallion, cut off ends. Cut the tip of the leaf that's dying and the root end off. Now cut quarter piece of a sweet pepper. or bell pepper. You can use any color. Remove the seeds and clean the inside out. Remove the seeds and clean the inside. Now, with this eggplant, just cut off the stem end. Now we're going to rinse and wash our vegetables properly before cooking. Get a bowl with some water, drizzle several drops of distilled white vinegar in the water. Wash the sweet pepper first. Use your finger and rub the skin of the sweet pepper and make sure it's clean. Wash the garlic. With the scallion, you use your finger and rub the leaf of the scallion clean with your fingers. The eggplant, rub the skin of the eggplant clean with your fingers. Now add the 6 plummy tomatoes. The riper the tomatoes, the better. Now use your fingers and clean the tomatoes properly. Now remove this water. It's best if you do this part on the running water. Remove that water, add fresh water. Now give all the vegetables a final rinse. Do this part on the running water. Now dice scallion fine. Do as you see me doing. Dice the quarter piece bell pepper fine. Slice onions. Slice onion. Make 1/8 of an inch slices. If you can get it to 1/16 of an inch, good for you. Keep vegetables separate. Eggplant is a fruit. Eggplant is high in fiber and it's has 6% vitamin B6. Grind garlic to puree, or you can mash it. Just like these dark color purple fruits, they have their special nutrients in them that's good for you. That's not in anything else. So you'd have to research that on your own. Most of the nutrients is in the skin. Gather your vegetables in one place and keep them separate. Now, cut the stem end off the tomatoes. Now, tomatoes in 1/8. The riper the tomatoes, the better it is for this meal. Just be sure the tomatoes are good. While you're cutting, look for worm or spoilage and remove it. Once you chop your tomatoes in cubes, just gather them in a bowl. Put your ingredients aside for later. Next, dice eggplant. Alright, try and get fresh eggplant. The fresher the eggplant it is, the more tenderized the skin will be. I know some people, it is said that some people are against eggplant because the skin of it is bitter. You can always peel it if you're against eating the skin, but I would say don't. Do as you see me doing. I cut this one eggplant in quarters, and then now I'm cutting cubes, say about 2-3 inch cubes or chunks. So make eggplant chunks or pieces. The point is they should be about between 3-4 inches in size. There's no special size. Some people probably dice it even finer. Gather your chopped eggplant together in a bowl. Put aside for later. After that, put to heat a saucepan. I'm using a medium-sized saucepan. Put the stove's gauge on 4, medium-low. Be sure the saucepan is dried out. If not, do what you see me doing and use a clean paper towel and wipe the saucepan dry. Put the stove's gauge on low first. Add half a quarter cup of cooking oil. I use coconut oil. That's around 4 tablespoons. Add the spices, the dried pimento berries and the whole clove. I'm doing this because I want you to have a good eating experience. So by burning the spices in the oil, maximize flavors without using the berries. And if you keep the stove's gauge on low, it reduces the risk of the berries bursting and hurting you. It's been 5 minutes. Now would be a good time to remove the berries from the eating oil. So do as you see me doing. Use a cooking spoon and remove the berries, the spices from the eating oil. Whole clove is a berry too, you know. After that, put the stove's gauge on 4, add 4 medium-low, add your chopped onions, stir in a few times, allow to saute. By doing this, I believe you're adding additional flavors that's nowhere else but in the saucepan that's sauteing these onions. Add your diced scallion, stir it in a few times, allow it to saute, creating additional flavors that's not in a bottle. Stove gauge is on 4, medium low. Allow onions along with the scallion to saute in the heating oil, the flavored heating oil. Now 30 seconds later, they're about, depending on how fast the stove burning. The stove moving kind of slow, that's why I'm looking to see if it's reach. But because it is on low, it's probably taking the time to build up rapidly. Alright, so you saw me add the garlic. Stir it in, the mashed garlic. Stir it in a few times. Well, you saw me add the mashed garlic. Stir it in a few times, allow to saute. Been about 20, 30, 40 seconds there about. Once your onions and so forth not burning, you just want them to caramel a little. That's the objective of sauteing. Alright, add your chopped tomatoes. Stir it in a few times. You gotta allow it to break down. You can stay and stir it for 2 minutes, or just allow it to cook for 2 minutes with the stove gauge on 4, medium low. Allow. If you would like this meal spicy, you can add half Scotch bonnet pepper or quarter shredded red pepper. But I'm not going. After a minute, I didn't move it really. Add the salt, using about a teaspoon of sea salt. You probably can get away with not using salt in this meal if you're against salt. Alright, add the herbs. Measure and add a tablespoon of wine vinegar. You can use distilled wine vinegar or apple cider vinegar. Do as you see me doing and stir in the ingredients. Stir in your sauteed onions with your chopped tomatoes. That's sauteing and stewing. I'm going to let it stay for a minute more before the next step. Minute more. 2 minutes now since we added the chopped tomatoes. Stir it in a few times. See how it's breaking down. Now measure and add half cup of water. Use your cooking spoon and stir it in. Stir the stew in, or stew to be. Stir your stew to be in. Add your chopped or diced eggplant. Stir it in. What I like to do is lift and fold and then stir. Lift, fold and stir. Alright, so once you do that, use the saucepan's lid, cover the pan properly. Stove gauge is on 4, medium low. Allow. Look how juicy this looks. This eggplant tomato stew brewing away. I can smell the aroma, the herbs. I can smell the aroma along with the herbs. It's been 3 minutes. This is what it looks like. The eggplant is creating some kind of water, so the water is not drying out fast. Now give your pot a few stirs. See how your stew looks. After that, cover it back and allow 5-8 minutes. This is what it looks like. The stew is starting to stick to the pot's bottom. That's my sign to say it's soon ready. You can turn the stove up. Okay, you want to get the sauce kind of juicy and creamy-ish. Like this. Alright, you saw me stir the stew and it sticks to the pot's bottom. Alright, that's a sign to say it's ready. So it's a full 10 minutes. What I find with these eggplant is if you cook it for the 10 minutes, the skin of it won't be bitter. Alright, so add the diced bell pepper or sweet pepper, stir it in, use the pan's lid, turn the stove off first, use the pan's lid, cover the pan until serving. What I find with these eggplant, if you cook it for 10 minutes, the skin of it won't be bitter. Before serving, stir your pot in and moist up your stew. Take a scoop of this eggplant tomato stew, and I'm having it today with spaghetti. So I'm laying it on a plate of spaghetti. This is eggplant tomato stew. Visit JamaicanDinners.com for the recipe. Subscribe, like, share. When you cook this meal yourself, give us feedback. The secret to this, if you cook it for 10 minutes, the skin of it won't be bitter. It's a lovely meal. So you're gonna watch me eat this eggplant tomato stew. It's hot. It's hot right now, so I just gotta cool it down a little. Well, first, the herbs blend lovely with this. The herbs blend lovely with this eggplant tomato stew. The eggplant is not bitter. The skin of it is tenderized and cooked. You can taste the tomato sauce in the eggplant. Eggplant tomato stew goes well with pasta. I'm enjoying it right now with this spaghetti. You can always sprinkle. I know this is a vegan recipe, and I saw in the supermarket where they say vegetable cheese or something, so you can always add vegan cheese. This is lovely with cheese. The cheese combine all the ingredients together, make it easy to twine and get it old, so you can put it in your mouth. Eggplant is iron fiber. It's a fruit. It's that type of fruit. I guess it's also a vegetable, but the internet said it's a fruit. I guess it has all the vitamins, a lot of vitamins in it. But it has 6% vitamin B. I'm not so sure what vitamin B6 is consists of. You saw me add the cheese, and I'm enjoying it with the cheese. I actually didn't think it would work with the vegetables, but it's lovely. So regular people can enjoy this meal. See the seeds? Oh, I see them say, oh, I see, maybe that's where the vitamin B6 is. Because that's where the vitamin B6 is, in seeds. Vitamin B I know is in seeds. And I know vitamin B, they say, is vitamin B something. They say good for cancer or something like that. So if you eat seeds, you can't eat too much though, it'll poison you. But edible seeds, don't take this as knowledge, I'm just talking. Edible seeds have vitamin B in it, which is good for cancer. Go and research it yourself. Vitamin B is mostly found in seeds. So I'm wondering if the vitamin B6 that's in this eggplant is where it is from the seeds. Because the seeds are all over inside. All I have to say, this eggplant tomato stew is surprisingly delicious. Try it yourself. Regular people, if you cook this meal and add the Parmesan cheese on it, you will enjoy it. Vegans, if you cook this meal and add vegan cheese to it, you will enjoy it. Maybe they make vegan cheese from coconut or other seeds. You have other things out there that milk, that has milk in it, milk substance type things in it. Alright, so you saw me eat this entire plate of food. I enjoyed it. Until next time. Yeah, man!